Listen, all I'm saying is somebody got to document this Brooklyn history. You feel me? It's a hard job, baby, but somebody got to do it. You heard? Shout out to my bro Saquon, you know what I mean? Executive producing this series, Marcy Memoirs. You heard? We gonna be talking to a few Marcy icons and just get us all a little bit more familiar with one of the most famous housing projects on New York City soil. You heard? We don't know enough about Marcy out there, baby. I got family in Marcy, you heard? My aunts and cousins lived in Marcy since the beginning of time. I was coming over to Marcy back in 84s and 5s and all of that, you heard? Y'all don't know about me out there. Y'all better do some history on my lineage, yersk? Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man, yerk? Let's get it.
His mother came and got him for the precinct. He was like 14. Mm-hmm. And I remember his mother said, "Who you with?" He said, "I'm with Big Slop." She said, "The preacher, son?" He broke on him a person. She said, "The preacher kid you be with? You told me he was a nice boy." That was my first case, man. Then OG Spank, he had my side locked. Everybody was a soldier except for me and a couple other dudes,
You said Spank?
He said, we Spank around my way. Spank Gregory, Sean Gregory, Spank. He's the OG. He had the lock. He was like the man around there, and everybody was like, everybody be around under him, around the way, whatever, So I had problems when I had fights with different dudes. Oftentimes I get tripped. Like I be, push, sneaky stuff. But I still be fighting, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't get jumped, like stomped out jump. It was sneaky trying to jump. I snuffed him from the back trying to turn me to lose the fight, So I had to earn mine. It was rough, but I came up. Even sometimes I have a fight and I go upstairs, my pops and they go to the store and I be like, I just had a fight. I gotta go past these dudes. It was rough, but I had to come out, and that's what made me stronger because I had to come out and I had to earn my way, just being in Marcy, period. It wasn't easy. I was a church boy, I'm outside playing 1 minute, next minute I got the hard shoes on going to church. While everybody else was like not going to church, out there, So that's how I came up, and then I should tell the dude I came up with, one day, watch, dude's gonna see me, and they either have to walk the other way, or they're gonna have to be like, "Oh, what's up, Slop?" Knowing I got the upper hand, and that's what happened throughout my life. That dudes are seeing me in clubs, downtown, concerts, and I was mobbed up, 100 deep, 150.
How you got that name, Slop?
All right,
Big Slop.
That's good. That's good because I used to hang out with Kev from my building and Cool B. So my name is Baby Pop, but when I came up with my name, it was a Pop from LG. People should know Skinny Pop. He was wilding, he's been around. It was a Pop from Notion. So the GZ line, I kept getting the beef with other cats because my name was Pop, and I was getting the beef. So I was saying, yo, you know what? So Kevin Carr used to call me Sloppy because when I used to play basketball with them, I used to do sloppy moves like, yo, what's that, man? Yo, what you doing? Like, they used to be like, yo, that's sloppy stuff. So one day I went to school, and niggas was like, yo, I was like, yo, my name's Big Slop now, man. Niggas like, Slop? What the hell? Big Slop, that's my name.
What school you went to though, Slop? It was Western House?
Pacific. I was in Pacific.
Oh, you was in Pacific. That's a difficult life.
Before I left Eastern, I would say my name was Slop. Once I got to Pacific, my name was already Big Slop.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So I earned the name Big. Like that was my name, and and then after that, like once I got in Pacific, that's when I started Union Square opening all that club, and I started meeting, like, Pig, rest in peace, Hawk, you know what I'm saying, Dog, Bougie, rest in peace, N.A. from Nostrand. I started meeting different cats. B.O. from Nostrand, you know what I'm saying? The first day I met B.O. from Nostrand, we was going to Union Square. They was going, it was me and Smith from Marcy, and we was trying to find a club, and we both was like lost, and then we looked at each other and we was like, you know where the thing is? And one of us said, nah, we trying to find it too. And we found it together, and that was my crew. But like, who I was running with? Nostrand Ave. B.O. from Nostrand, rest in peace, Cocky, rest in peace, Ant Watt, Miami, Dubo. That was my crew. After that, being in Union Square, and like, I found myself being on Nostrand every day, on Lexington and Nostrand, and Munchies. I believe it was Munchies, the chicken place. And we was under Ron K. Rest in peace. He was like the big homie and Big Nate. But I was being there every day, and I realized, that's when I realized dudes from Marcy had beef. They couldn't come to Nostrand. I was accepted on Nostrand. And they rock. And they should be like, yo, those dudes come down here and ask you, said, dang, niggas got beef like that, but I was accepted on Nostrand. And I was accepted a lot of places. Fort Greene, I don't know. I didn't do nothing different from the next man. A lot of dudes was wilder than me or whatever. I didn't do nothing different, but I didn't have a lot of situations like a lot of other cats had. I wasn't chose to be robbed. Niggas thought about it, and sometimes I hear about it, and I will go right to the situation and be like, and they be like, nah, we were just saying, but I wasn't, like, I had jury. Late at night walking, I often see people coming by in cars slow, sick of kids, and I be looking, all of a sudden a window come down, they be like, Slop, what's up, man? They be like, yo, you good? I be like, I'm good. They be like, yeah, we trying to get a little money out here. And I wasn't chosen, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do nothing but this is for the next man, but I believe that God had me, because I was a church boy. I grew up in church. My pops was a pastor. My family went to church, and growing up in Marcy was rough for me. I had no older brothers, and around my way, I give him a prop, Spank Gregory. He was the man, and everybody was pretty much under Spank. I was on Park Avenue. I lived on Park Avenue. I called my side the first side. Park Avenue, surrounded by Marcy, Nostrand, and Flushing. The other side is surrounded by Marcy, Nostrand, and Myrtle. So I was supposed to be considered my side of Flushing. To be honest with you, Williamsburg, and the other side was considered Best Style. I didn't find out that until like I went to Eastern District High School, and I couldn't get a full bus pass because I was in the zone that I was half his zone. Mm-hmm. So Spank, Spank Gregory, shout out to Spank. Sean Gregory, he was the man, It was, but they had like the crew, everybody hung around them, they had the music, the dogs, but I wasn't really, I was cool with a lot of them, but, I wasn't in that in crowd like that, so sometimes we had problems with certain dudes that hung under them, and then when I have a one-on-one fight, it wasn't one-on-one. I get jumped, and not stomped out jumps and stuff like that. It's like I'm fighting somebody trying to trick me from behind, or I might get a snuff from the back so I can be deterred. But, and rest in peace, Pat, my OG, he taught me how to fight. Every day he with me doing 52, showing me 52, like do 52, playing, but teaching me. And he taught me how to move my hands and be fast, I ain't nothing about no 52, but he knew it. And also Moo knew it, but Big Moo, come on, man, you was practicing on us. You wasn't teaching us. You was practicing on us. Big Moo, you know I love you, man, but you was practicing.
Shout out Big Moo.
Shout out Big Moo. You was practicing, but Pat was showing me the ropes, man, Mm-hmm. We could argue later on about this, man, but
Marcy and Tompkins kids, y'all all go to the same schools?
All right, this is what I'm saying. on my side of the projects, a lot of cats didn't go to IS 33 in 297. They went the other way, like to 148, 68, 318. But my sisters went to 297, 33. So I ended up in 33, and I met a lot of dudes from Tompkins, and Tompkins was like a lot of righteous dudes. They was wild, and by me going to school with them, I was able to go to Tompkins and be alright, pretty much. Because Tompkins and Marcy, a lot of dudes was coming through either place. You know, some dudes, they was who they was, they coming through, but, you know, most dudes, they come to Marcy was a little problem, they go to Tompkins, a little problem, because that's the way it was. You know how it was, you know, 80s and all that. So, right, I met a lot of dudes from Tompkins when I went to school with them. And a lot of them was righteous. They was, you know, and a lot of them was wild from like 6th grade. Like, you wasn't seeing them. They come to school once a week, or they was boosted. They was fly. They was fly though. The dudes from Tompkins, because they was boosting early. They was fly, but you don't see them much, you know. But shout out to the dudes from Tompkins who went to school with, who was like my best friend, Victor Williams, Devon from Tompkins. You know.
Tompkins used to be digging. Tompkins niggas used to be digging with y'all too.
Wow. Tompkins.
I don't recall.
Big Hab, he was downtown at one time with me, and my little man B.O. and all of us. Big Hab from Tompkins was with us on the regular. He was official. You know, Big Hab. People from Tompkins know what I'm talking about. Big Hab. A lot of dudes from Tompkins, nah, they did their own day. They wasn't really to be downtown. They might have came through, whatever, but Tompkins, the digging started. I tell you, the digging started with me.
Right.
I used to go to the high. I had to go to the high.
Hold on for a minute, Slop. Could I interrupt for a minute, Big Slop?
I got you.
Hard self, right? When you talking digging, I directly came up under Slop, right?
Right.
With digging. That's who I came. It was dudes from around my way down there doing whatever.
Right.
When I got into digging, it was up under Slop, and Slop made it all right for a whole bunch of people, right? Right. To be all right, because at this time the robbers was robbing the robbers. You know, right? You know, you had to be known, or you had to be associated or affiliated with something. You wasn't even coming downtown. First of all, what are you doing down? This is the whole mentality. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let that be known from that point of view. Now let the legendary Big Slop continue. My bad. I apologize.
Right. I was doing local stuff. I was being like with, you know, the crew of Marcy, Love and all of us, stuff like that. But the digging, I was going to high. I had a girl. I was going to high. And then I was seeing this kid by the high. And then I see them in Union Square. I didn't know him. So one day I was downtown, like right after that, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, yo, what's up? Did I just see you in Union Square? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what's your name? At that time, his name was Cabbage. And I'm like, I'm Slop. I'm talking about Fuji. And he's like, yo, yeah, what's up? So he
legendary Fuji.
That'd be Fuji. And he was like, yo, I was going to the mall, but he was like, yo, we be downstairs, we be going digging, everything too dirty. I said, digging? He said, yeah, we going to Midtown. So I said, all right, I come down. I came down there, and that's when I met all the diggers, and believe it or not, the diggers wasn't Walt Green, Marcy. The diggers was Rockaway Avenue, Hawk and all of them digging. East New York. Drag and Pig and them all digging. You know,
so you said Drag and Pig was down there before Drag and Pig was down there before you?
They was all meeting when Union Square opened, right? I believe all the cats, we all didn't know each other. When Union Square opened, you do start being in there, and that's when you started mobbing up. Like style. We started meeting each other. Rest in peace, E-Money. Like, dudes was there. Like, from my school, Pacific, E-Money, rest in peace, was going. And Hollywood would say, yo, why you wasn't in Union Square, rest in peace, last week when it opened? Me and Smith was like, oh, we forgot. So we went the next week. And that's when we met, the story I told you, we met B.O. them on the train. And when we got there, that's when we was gonna be on them, and I see it was dudes from Marcy was already there. Dennis, Cam, he was there. So I knew a few cats. Like I knew Ron's Cave, rest in peace, because when Skate City was open, we used to go there every day after school. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
Skate City used to be open for after school for teenagers, and I used to go there, me, Joe Bang, rest in peace from Marcy, Little Rob, and Ron K. We used to be in there. So I knew a few cats that was being in town, but I started meeting a lot of cats after that, and that's how I started going digging with Fuji. Fuji took me out. I was going digging with him, and then after a while, you know, other cats. The first one I had from Marcy going digging, if you don't mind me saying his name, was Kwong.
Okay.
Kwong.
Okay.
Huck was down there. It was me.
Okay.
For Marcy even more everyday basis, it was me, Huck. Then Big Unique came home. Big Unique was down there.
Right. But
anybody else from Marcy wasn't down there yet. He was down there afterwards. I bought him. Rest in peace, Big Unique.
Rest in peace, Big U. But when Big Unique was down there, he wasn't digging. It was like they was down there.
No, he wasn't digging, but he was in the mall. He was in the mall.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
It was like they was getting pieced off just for motherfuckers going robbing. You had to come and check in.
Right, but Big Unique wasn't really digging. He was doing his own thing. But he was coming downtown every day because Big Unique, like the girls, the brides, you know, he was coming down there around the scenery. When he first came to Union Square, Big Unique came in. He knew the OGs because he did bids. Like he knew it, he knew all those dudes. But he came in right away on some big heavy jewelry stuff. You know, I knew you was my man because he always had my back since in high school. Big Unique. So I knew him, but all the other guys didn't know him. But they met him because Big Unique came in right away from the start. Big Unique started swinging and knocking dudes out. I mean, you know, he started right away on, you know.
In Union Square, that's how they just opened it up like that?
Yeah, when they opened up Union Square, right, Brooklyn went through and it was rough. It was like, dudes from different neighborhoods was there, and we all got together. We were like one crew after like 2 or 3 weeks. You know, dudes had their little, like, dudes ran for me and Smith walking through Union Square. We bumped the little dudes from the east, they bumped Smith. You know, what? We looked at each other, me and Smith kept walking. We went to the back. Next thing you know, we get surrounded by, got Tony, Little Just, Little Rich from the east, Little Furnace, all of them surrounded me and Smith. All little. They was little enough. You looking at the little dudes like, what? They like, what? So next thing you know, Big Hollywood come in the back, rest in peace. That was our dude. Yo, what's going on? Oh, Smith Slop, what's up? Nah, you little niggas get out of here. This is my peoples. So that's how that started, and that's how I got cool with those names I just said, because Hollywood, I didn't know them before. I knew Pig, rest in peace, because he's a kind of specific with Black Star. Paul Green, rest in peace. All these guys, man, they're not here no more, man.
Oh, so Black Star Pig was cool?
Yeah, it was either Black Star, Pig, and Bull. Bro. And Yammy. And Yambo.
Yeah,
Yambo was at the school. It's a funny story, man, because if I tell you this, some people ain't gonna believe it, but I got proof.
Rest in peace to Black Star, man.
Rest in peace to Black Star. Rest in peace to Yammy, right?
Right.
Rest in peace to E-Money. Wow.
Rest in peace, right.
Crazy. I don't know what bar at, but Yammy went to the school, you know, and people know him for Queensbridge, but he used to live on Rutland Road, I believe.
Yes, you got it. In a height,
they
like
the street train, like all those dudes.
East Flatbush.
Right. So what happened was Yammy came to school one day. We called him Yammy. His name was Yammy. Yo, Yammy. He was wild from the beginning. I first met him. Like Yammy, he was a little wild dude. He came to school one day with army fatigue on, with an army hat, army pouch, all this. He coming down the hallway, so we all in the hallway. Rest of Hollywood, Smith, all of us in the hallway. So, you know, niggas know I got jokes. He came Drew. I was like, yo, look at Yambo. Yo, we fell out. Everybody fell out laughing. And that's how the name Yambo came. And niggas Marcy, I was always naming somebody, give somebody a name. Yeah, that's how the Yambo came, and I named him Yambo.
That's crazy.
And then when he left the school, you know, you see for years, they say, you know, he's in Queensbridge, and He was like, that's the same Yambo? Well, we knew he was wild anyway. Mm-hmm. But I named him Yambo. That day he walking down the hallway, and you know how that be. Once you do a funny joke, that's funny the rest of the day. Right, everybody start calling me Yambo. That's how I named him Yambo, man. Like dudes gave me my name from the basketball. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's how I named him Yambo, man.
Crazy, right there.
Yeah, so crazy. I mean that's the story nobody won't have but me.
That's
right.
Smith from Marcy's my witness. That was my dude from Marcy. He came to, we was in Marcy cool, he's hanging with my cousin, but when he came to Pacific, we got tight. He was my road dog. You know?
Yeah,
he was yeah.
Man, it's
Pacific was wild. You get to Pacific.
That's another thing. Yo, we're gonna do an episode.
Stuff you wasn't seeing in other schools.
Exactly. Pacific was like the school, just for the listeners. Pacific was like
that's for gangsters, man. That's for gangsters.
It was straight gangsters.
That was a redirection school. That was redirection.
Yes, it was. Alternative. Yeah.
So, listen, let me tell you how ill Pacific was, bro.
Yeah.
Pacific was right next to the courts. Right?
Yes.
Motherfuckers come out of school and gotta go to court. That shit was for motherfuckers that was already been on the island and about to go to the island, bro.
Right.
That shit right there, no school wanted you, bro. No school wanted you no more. None.
Pacific or redirection, you going.
Straight up, bro. That's where all the criminals met at. Straight up.
That's where I met a lot of the cats. When I got there, it was Big Salvo of Kingston. It was, Corky came there. He only, rest in peace, he only came to school like 4 days before he started going out of town, Like, dudes is in there. Jesus from Cyprus, him and Herb. Him and Black, him and Herb. They was in there, It was dudes from all over, man.
Everybody, the criminals was in there, bro.
Red Hook. It was dudes, we was in there. The dude that took me under the wing, when I got to Pacific, I ain't gonna front, I got there. And was Ron Mel from LG. Good brother. He had my back. And it's funny, because when I was in Eastern District, right, and I changed my name to Big Slop, dudes though, I was saying my name was Big Shot. All the righteous dudes from Tonkin and all that, rest in peace, Dark Count and all of them, peace, God, every day, but they never asked me for lessons. But I was, see, when I got to high school, let me explain this. When I got to high school, right?
Yeah.
I was already told by the OGs how to fit in. When I got to high school, I realized where the in crowd was. The wild dudes were standing every day, and that's where I stood. So I'm standing there not knowing them, and they may be like, who this little dude standing over there? But after a week, when you do stuff like that, somebody's been done like, yo, who you? Before you know it, you with the crowd for some reason.
You're right, you with the in crowd.
Either as a soldier, don't get me wrong, niggas will soldier you, or you there with the crowd as you there every day. They're like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, we over here, man. Yo, later on, we gonna,
school, you're equal.
You equal.
You included. You automatically included.
But back then, a lot of dudes was getting soldier. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it wasn't that easy, but for some reason, through the grace of God, of a higher power,
you avoided
blessed. I had problems, but not like the regular person. I ain't do nothing different from the next man. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, I got you.
But I don't know if it was my demeanor or the way I roll. I wasn't foul.
Never.
That's what I can say. I wasn't foul. Like,
never.
If you was with me, you wasn't getting robbed.
Right.
And you if I could prevent it,
And you was going to eat.
Right, you was going to eat, and I wasn't going to rob you. You take a G, it wasn't like, give me all the money, and I give you your 300, whatever. Yo, take what you're going to take, and then hand me the money. We see what happens from there. You know what I'm saying?
So, exactly. Yo, how old was you the first time you caught a real good pocket with some real good money in it?
Well, I had to already be 16. I was already like a little old. A lot of dudes was younger hitting, but I was already like 16. Let me get this right now because my first case that I had to hit Rikers Island was if you remember QP Market, I don't know if it's still there. Queen Plaza?
Queen's Plaza. Yeah, QP, yeah.
QP's, they had a little stand. So I was in there one day with a dude from Marcy. There was 2 other dudes from Marcy. And I'm watching some OGs take some jewelry from the stand. So on the top, it ain't no ceiling, it's necks, it's wrist necks. It's like cross, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like a net with a little gap, a little gap, a little gap. So, so what it was, I watched these dudes go. It took two days, 2 black, what you call it, with the jewelry, with the chains on it. It was like 20 chains on a black canvas. You know how they have it.
Yeah, it's like a tray. It's like a tray, but it's the necklace. It's a necklace.
Yeah, a necklace tray. Right.
Yeah, got you. Come on, I'm with you.
So they took 2. I'm watching them, so I'm looking like, yo, we can do that. Boom, boom. So he went and did it, but when he came up with it, he hit the net. He didn't do it like the car.
He didn't finesse it.
So the guy heard it working, and he looked up and seen it. Was like, ah. So when he came down with it, I grabbed the jewelry off. He had like 2. I ain't gonna lie. He used both hands, got like 2, but one of them hit it. So I grabbed all the jewelry off it. I snatched it off, and that's when the guy yelled and security was coming. So when we running, I told little dude split up, but he was a little young dude. So I don't know if he heard me, but he stayed behind me.
Stay with you.
Right. So when I pass the exit door, I do all the jewelry out the back exit door and try to walk playing it off like I'm looking at stuff. So they grabbed him, and they grabbed me, and the person I went with, the security said, "Oh," I said, I don't know, like I'm here with my man, I said, "You seen when I came in?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you came in with," but when they stopped the person, the moms ain't gonna blow him up. He said, "Nah, I ain't with him." So they took me in. I was young. I went to Rikers Island, and the little young boy, his mother came and got him for the precinct. He was like 14. And I remember his mother said, "Who you with?" He said, "I'm with Big Slop." She said, "The preacher, son?" She broke on him, a person. She said, "When you get home," she said, "The preacher kid you be with? You told me he was a nice boy." And the cops was like, "Oh, you lucky, like, you lucky you in here, he gonna get it," Then that was my first case, man. Then I tell you, I went to I had a brand new pair of Wallabies on, a BBD set, and some pants and some frames. And if you remember back then, you could wear a pair of frames without the lenses.
Right. That was the style. They let it rock out.
That's how you play on that day, but without the lenses, that was the style. That was our style. So
you still was fresh to death.
I was fresh to death. I believe I had polo lenses on. So what happened was, I went from Queens, grab your man to the Queens. So coming through Queens, it was only 4 of us that got remanded. 2 dudes was already there. They was older, and another African dude. He was there. He got caught at the airport, and he had no shoes on. They found the drugs in the shoe, whatever. It was an African dude. So when I went through, dudes on Rikers Island now looking at our pen from Brooklyn, like I'm from Queens. Not saying nothing against Queens, but they was looking at me like Brooklyn pen is like 20, 30 deep. It's like 4 of us, They looking like, oh yeah, we see the wallows. So what happened was, when I first went through, Rikers Island used to be crowded. Dudes coming through daily. It was locking up people like crazy.
What year was this, you said? This was 80 what?
82. 82. Like, my birthday was November 3rd. I must got locked up like November 6th. So 82. So when I went through, it was no New Jack House for me. They took me straight to 4 Upper. So when I walked in the door, I got rushed. So one of my wallows came off. I'm a little dude, I'm 16 little, I got rushed. One of my wallows came off, but the CO came in like kind of fast. He's like, "What happened?" So I'm like, "Ain't nothing happened." He's like, "Yo, you got 1 shoe on." So I believe I said, I came in like that, because I was already wise to different games, hearing stories, in your hood, And from my church, I know some dudes that went to jail when I was younger, and they used to come back with stories. You know, they done got saved. They had horrible stories, and they was telling the stories. So I was already like, oh man, Rikers Island sound like it's some, you know. So I was already like in my mind running through before I got there, like how I got to be, you know. So what happened was they took me out, got my shoe. They got my shoe, whatever, and they moved me to the other side of the building. So what happened was I got rushed by Brownsville cats. When I got to the other side of the building, I was now with like Tompkins, Marcy, those some dudes on our side, Fort Greene. Mm-hmm. So KB from Marcy, he was in my class, Rodney. So he was already there. I went to his house. He was there with Dark Hill, whatever, you know, rest in peace. So they was like, whatever, you know, oh, what's up, stop, what's up? I'm like, yeah, what's up? So I'm telling them what happened. They like, oh yeah, those dudes keep rushing dudes from out, but when they dudes come over here, you know, that's how it was. They come over here, we gonna see them, you know. So I was all right.
So they took you out the dorm with the one Wally?
Yeah, but they came on my mother's shoe.
Oh.
Like that CO was one of those COs, I guess. Like, yo, come on, yo, no, like he probably.
I'm not letting this go down. I'm letting
right,
that's
right.
that.
I ain't
That's
letting
it.
it go down. He's a baby, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a baby because I was a baby, and you know, dudes in there they done did a bit already. They come back in 3 years. They 19, 20, big as a house.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't seeing nobody from Mars, you know, until I got to the other side of the building. That's when I started seeing cats from Marcy, Tompkins, and I knew them already. I knew like from school, whatever. And it's funny because I was with KB and them, and I believe I had one more fight after that because, you know, somebody be like, yo, one-on-one. Back then, it was like, yo, you got to go in the back. You got to do what you got to do, Slop. Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? So you go in the back, you get that one-on-one. Whether it's hands or gun. If the dude said gun, they hand you a gun. You know, your people's hand you, you know? You know? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, you know, family, whatever, niggas like, yo, nah, it's from the door, but a lot of times it was like you had to earn your fight. You had to do your fight. Dudes want to see if you want to do your fight.
I was talking to my bro Prada, and we was just talking, he was like, yo, niggas was getting robbed and beat up for BVDs on the island back in the day. He said if you came through if you came through with a Paris nylon on, nigga,
yeah,
whole house might jump you for that shit.
Yeah. And the big thing back then was you go in the shower, having stuff, niggas sneak thief you and pass up next door. So when you come out now, somebody stole your stuff. If you're quiet about it, then
that's just that.
Right, it's just that. But most people break, and I'm gonna tell you, the second time I went through, I was already hip to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to dorm, so I'm sitting there. I believe Mar 2. I can't remember. I believe Mar 2. So I'm sitting on my bed. A white bucket slides with clothes, stay soaked. It slides to the front of me. So I'm looking at it. So somebody walked by and said, "Oh man, Dad, you know what? Yo, big man. You know, I'm looking a little big in a way. Yo, big man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through that, man. Just wash the clothes, man. Just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? You know, yo, you good here." So I'm like, I ain't washing no clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I slid the bucket.
They tried to ease you into it.
Right, they had game, man. It was game. It was all out. Let me tell you, dudes was robbing you, talking to you.
Psychological.
Yeah.
Right. Almighty from Gates. That's my man now. He was walking up on cats, whispering in the air, talking with a razor in their mouth. Next thing you know, somebody giving up their swaps. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, somebody coming for the sneakers. Next thing you know, somebody coming for your pants. You know what I'm saying?
I was in Green with Almighty. They got him up out of there. Him and Born Son. They was terrorizing the jail.
Yeah, that's the same one. Let me tell you, you don't want to be around Born Son, Almighty, Pow Wow from Marcy. Yo, I made commentary one day. And this the adult. All right, this is Power Wow. So I know who Power Wow is. It's the family. So I'm in commissary with my house. So you know you been capped. They gangster. They on the phone. You in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know them from the streets or nothing, but you know you there. They running. So you know you respecting them because
they holding it down right there.
Right. Getting your respect. So we in commissary. Power Wow coming with the CEO. He come in, oh, Slop, what's up? Yeah, you know how you talk. Yeah, Slop, you know what I'm saying? Doing a little shopping today, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. His shopping was, he's going around with different cats in there, going, yo, I need some cookies, you know, I need some pain. So I'm looking, so after what I'm looking, dude's putting stuff in his bag. He get a bag. He don't even go to the counter to shop. He's shopping from the inmates. And dude's giving them stuff. So Shy gonna laugh because when I get back to the house, I'm like, yo, you know Power Wow? Oh, nah, but you know, a nigga handicapped. I feel sorry for him. You know, he telling me he don't got no peoples. You know what I'm saying? Yo, him and the CEO, that was their scam, man.
That was their hustle, huh?
That was their hustle. The CEO was down with him. When he was finished, the CEO was like, you finished? Yeah, I'm finished. And then the CEO behind the counter, they gave him a few stuff and was like, we out.
Oh, shit.
I see you in an hour. I guess when the next house comes. Power Wow was the man. Like, I ain't gonna lie. When I went to the 6th building, I did 6th building adolescent. I only did 30 days, and it was like, crew was there. When I went to the adults, Hitman was the man from Brownsville. Skinny Hit. Heard he ain't skinny no more, but Skinny Hit. He was the man, and I tell you, I went through with I had to turn myself in, y'all. So, turning myself in the streets, every day I'm dressing fresh. So I'm going in there, brand new valleys. I said, well, I'm going to be wearing greens. So I got my green valleys to go with the green uniform. So I go through, and the New Jack House, you know, you go to New Jack House, dudes in there fronting, wilding. You know, fronting, go in there, you see dudes. So I met a few, two cats I got cool with. There's some queens. I always meet a group of queens I got cool with, ain't gonna lie. It was always like me and somebody from Queens. That was they was rolling. They was cool, you know what I'm saying? So what happened was, after 3 days, some dudes got moved, like to 12U Bellevue, they call it. So we going to lunch. They got moved their breakfast. We going to lunch. In the hallway, the 3 dudes that got moved that was running the phone, they leaking in the hallway. They coming through leaking. And one dude just came from up north. He did 4 years. They remanded him. I don't know what happened. He did a turnaround with the 6th building. I don't know what happened, but he leaking. The CEO said, yeah, see, those are dudes. I was being loud. Watch, y'all all gonna get moved sooner or later. So now, dudes is shook. You know, the average dude is shook. So the next day, they moved me to 5 Main House of Pain. So when I get in the house, rest in peace to Tiny from Nostrand. It was Chino from the Bronx. They ran the house. A couple other dudes, Pickles from Uptown, whatever. But the main dudes was Tiny and Chino, to say their name. So when I get there, they march everybody in the day room. You know, in the day room first. So niggas talking about, yeah, ain't no stealing in here. It ain't this and that. So I'm standing there. It's a dude by my foot with his foot, like measuring. Going, yeah. You know, to my valleys. So I'm looking like, all right, I see what's going on here. So we go to our beds. So I brought my man Cat from Queens. I met him, Cat. And believe it or not, you know who sits on the other bed by me? Big Hurt. Hip Hop. Big Hurt.
Hip Hop, okay.
Cool Hurt?
Bronx. He was in there.
Cool Hurt.
He was doing the bed, you know, whatever he was doing. But he had a broken leg. He had a cast in his leg. So he was in there. So he was big as a house, though. So, you know, people knew Big Hurt. He was good. So now I'm watching. They going to dudes' beds. They going to different dudes' beds. And they like, you know, give it up. Dudes giving up. You know, dudes coming there fresh. They robbing dudes, flipping on them. Boom, 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 flipping on them. So they called me for a visit. So they took them like 2 dudes. But I pretty much knew it was gonna happen to them. You know, like you could see ahead of time, like you know who's who, so you know you ain't messing with them. So you know, so it happened to them, whatever. So I go on a visit. So I want to visit my pops. You know, he's a preacher, he's a reverend. So I don't know what happened, Sal, what was on my mind say, but I'm like, yeah, Dad, you know. He's like, how you was? I said, I'm all right, but when I go back, I might have some problems. He panicked. He called the captain and all that. My son having problems. I said, no, I am not the problems, Dad. Oh, man. So they came. They was like, everything all right? I said, yeah, everything all right. So now, you know, he worried. You know, he's worried about me, you know. I'm the first son. You know, I was still,
it's natural.
But he's worried because I had to turn myself in. He came to court. He broke down on the train on the way there. I guess it was different. I was doing a bullet. I had a bullet. So
was it running wild, or it was just a solid 6-billion bullet?
I had a bullet, and they gave me 6 months. It supposed to have been running wild, but it was together. It was the concurrent. That's how they say it?
Yep.
So, all right, I had the bullet. I had to do 8 months. I ended up doing 9.5 because of circumstances. But it was a bullet, and what happened was I got back to the house. I noticed I came down with 12 dudes. Like 10 of them was robbed, except for like Herc and my man Cat. The Cat was like an OG dude, like Herc. So you know, he was asleep when I came back. So now I'm walking. So I'm walking towards the front with a phone. I get hit in the head with a lock in the sock. Boom.
Wow.
He caught me. Boom. I turned around, but I'm a fighter. I grew up fighting. Remember, I grew up fighting. So my first instance was like, who did that? So I start fighting. So I'm getting up like 3 or 4 dudes, you know. Sanchez,
this is 5 men. It's 5 men.
5 men House of Pain. All right.
Okay.
Me go back so you understand. I don't know if y'all from the same area I'm from. After New Jack House, you either go to 12U, 5 main, or 6 main House of Pain, and that's before you go to a working dome.
Okay.
And the dudes that's in those houses, they not working. They the wild bunch. They wilding. They come out the beam and they're wilding. They doing whatever. They wilding. You know, they ain't trying to.
They doing what they want. They going through their.
They doing what they want. They doing what they want. You have to go do that before you get to working house. And pretty much the working dudes, working house,
settle down.
Too much happen. Slow down.
Right.
And so what happened was that boom, I'm fighting. So out of nowhere, Tiny go, yo, hold up. He said, yo, what's up? You look familiar. I said, I don't know if I'm familiar, but I'm from Marcy. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Put that Marcy out there.
Then he go, oh, Danny Dan, rest in peace, my man. He said, I've seen you before. I said, yeah, I didn't work for Danny Dan, but I'm from Marcy. So he's like, yo, so this kid named Slim from Uptown, man, every time somebody come in, somebody saving somebody. So I'm like, what? So Tiny go, hold on, Slop. You know, you got nothing to do with this. You know, like, cause Tiny was like the main dude. And he like, yo, the next thing I know, Tiny said, yo, you move in my section. I said, I got my man Cap over there though. He says only one empty bed, but Cap said, nah, you go. And I said, Tiny, that's my man Cap. He said, you know what? We ran up on that dude 3 or 4 times, but he was asleep. And we don't run up on niggas while they sleep. See, so Cap they wanted Cap, whatever he had, you know what I'm saying? He had a little chain on. They wanted him, but he was always asleep. Like you know, I guess he was an OG. He was always asleep, but he probably wasn't asleep. You know what I'm saying?
He had to get by.
He dodged the bullet. You know, he was I guess, but he dodged the bullet, so he was cool. And then he was moved closer to Big Herc, and they was like the OGs that was just cool, you know, like for that little period. Because remember, every day, 3 or 4 dudes getting ran out, about 8 dudes getting transferred. So there's new dudes coming out every day. So you be in that house, and one day something happened to you, the next day, you part of the crew because there's new dudes coming in and out every day.
Right, and you doing the same shit that got done to you.
Right, not necessarily, because I wasn't on that time like they was. I didn't, you know, I was in there like another week, and I wasn't, you know, I was just me. I was just there, but I was with the crew. I was there. So when I was getting back to what I said, so the kid Slim. So now they start saying, yo, who man is Slim? It turned out to that when Slim first came in, And whoever was his man was gone. So niggas started saying, hey, my man, like, yo. And they narrowed it down to, oh, that's what you call a man. He not even here no more.
Mm-hmm.
So now they flipped on Slim. Yo, you know what I'm saying? You being disrespectful, you gotta leave. Somebody say something. This section, we all got say so. Like, we know, somebody say something, that's what it is.
That's the word. That's
so
somebody made a call.
Him. Now he know. He broke up. He making his way to the bubble now. They flipped on him. So they set him up to the 12U Bellevue, which he probably was more comfortable because 12U Bellevue was where niggas was at. No, 12U Bellevue was a house. That was one of the houses that you had to pass through before you go to Working Dome. And up there was like, ain't no shame. Frank Needy from Uptown, he ran that house. But they was doing homo stuff up there, like from what I'm hearing, I'm not a witness. Dudes come through, yo, you gotta kiss the homo. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, like, degrading dudes. You know what I'm saying? With stuff like that. That I didn't roll like that. I'm glad I didn't go to that house and have to, be a part of it, be sitting in a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Up to like 8 deep, 9 deep. So they had conflict going to 12U Bellevue instead of coming to 5 Main, 6 Main, where niggas was like, they wasn't getting no love there. They wasn't getting no love.
Mm-hmm.
They had one. I ain't gonna lie, I know he came through. Mimi from Brownsville. Because had a lot of brothers. He was robbing niggas. He was running up on niggas like, give me your sneakers, and niggas like, what, you homo ass nigga? And then you go to the back and he was whipping your ass. You know what I'm saying? Which was embarrassing. Like he was whipping your ass. Because he was straight fruity, but he was a man. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, that part, whatever. But that's what it was. And then they moved me, they moved me to the 4 building. Lower Dorm. You know about Lower Dorm, right?
I heard about it.
Saquon, Lower Dome in the 4 building. It's downstairs. Lower Dome?
Yeah, you talking about 3 lower?
No, it's Lower Dome. It's by itself.
Yeah. That's the Centers dudes. That's the 6 building people.
Right, Centers dudes. Yeah, okay, they moved me down there.
It's by the gym.
Right. The staircase. They moved me down there. So when I get there, dudes from Queens, they was running. They had the house. Whatever. But I'm, like I already said, they probably got robbed when they first came through. But the dude that ran the house, Rob, he was alright. He had his big man Shane, pretty boy Tony Rome. They had a little crew, Chicken George. They had the house. I went through, so asking for time. The niggas like, yo. But I ended up getting a half an hour. But it was too early for me. It was like a 7 o'clock slot. I needed like 8:39. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I took it, whatever. So now I go to the Mess Hall. The whole Brooklyn is my peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Those niggas, see, I knew everybody. They was like, rest in peace, Juju was there, Sharky. Everybody was there you can name.
Wow.
Right, Tariq, Little Will from Nostrin, Ditto, rest in peace. Bum City Pop. Everybody, Patty Hearst was there, and adolescent. Now adolescent was 16 to 18. But there was still older dudes there that was there with me that was there in 88. Like, they already 20-something.
So this shit been going on for eons then.
Yeah, Big Patty Hearst, he was like older than me, like by 2 years. He was there. Like running wild. He was there, and Chill from Browns, the niggas was there. They was old, but the whole, I knew everybody. Lou, Kiki, Roosevelt, Ugar, everybody was there. Everybody was there. Brooklyn, I knew everybody. So now they see I know everybody. They like, they like, oh, you know all these dudes. So, it was whatever. So when I went, so now they moved half of the Lower Dome. They moved them. Niggas come through. So you already know if it's 20 beds, how many dudes coming through? 20, right? 20 people, right? Most likely.
That state.
Now they from dudes from the 6 building over. Big Y from the Eagle building, 4 Green.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him.
I know you're talking about.
He was down with Corky and Caesar getting money. Rest in peace, Corky. Big Wise, big head Wise.
Yeah, that's Big Wise.
tight pants, Wise jury, yeah. He came through now. He came through with a plan. He had these dudes Wolf in the Bronx. They had a plan to take over. When they came down, they looked straight for the phone. Nobody knew War and Wise, so now, Wise, what's up? What's up with the phone? I said, yo, I don't got the phone, but I got my half an hour, but I don't got the phone. So now he do some Queens. All of a sudden, they find time for Wise and War. You know what I'm saying?
What?
They found time. So whatever happened, Wise was dead. So that's what happened with that. And then what happened was my house got into a confrontation with Dream Main. That's Sharif, Little Will, Bum City, Lil Bam Bam. Got into a beef with them. Those niggas rushed my house in the mess hall. We went to lunch at the same time. But I'm working the mess hall. I'm working behind the garbage can.
You work behind the garbage can. So
right, it was hash. So I'm working.
Hash from Sumner.
Right, all of them was there.
Okay,
The Dream Main was like the wildest house besides 4 Upper. 4 Upper was like, I ain't saying all the other houses was in wild because crime was like in Dream Main. You had dudes like Crime and Dream Main. Johnny Fox from Linda Houses. I don't know if you heard of him. But, Dream Main was a house. It was wild. It was like, I don't know how they all survived in there. Like, I don't know who got on the phone and who didn't. It was
way too many.
A lot of dudes was wild. They was in there.
Somebody I had on the channel was telling me, saying that everybody always talk about what house was wild, but it wasn't really. The dude I was telling me, he said it wasn't nothing wilder than 3 Main.
Right, and Sharif had the house. Sharif was the man. And he was there when I came through for a week before. He was there already before, but it would just be him and like your Majesty. He was there. So he was the man. He already, he been down a while. But Sharif was the man. Ditto was in the house with him. So they rushed my house. So now I'm in the mess hall. Dudes running around me, pushing me. And stop, get out the way. Because they chasing dudes from my house. But they not trying to run up on me because all these dudes my peoples. Hash, Bum City Pop, Reeves, Ditto, everybody that was there, in that house, Bam Bam, old man from Sumner, all of them, So they watched my house. So the next day they moved us out the building. They moved us out. They moved us back to the.
You too?
Huh?
You too?
They moved the whole house out. Cause we bought the adolescent, and we can't stay there. The adolescent.
Back again.
Right, we was the minority, so they got rid of us. Like, since those dudes are out the building, they sent us back out the building, but we still was able to work the full building, but we had to get bust every day now. So when we get back what was that? C-76. C-76. I had a ticket. I had a pre-ticket, so they didn't send me back to work, but I had to go to the Bean. So.
You went to the Just Mode, you got some days.
Right, I had some days. So what happened with that was when I got 6 billion, now Wise and them was already gone. They wasn't there. Wise, I forgot what happened. He had left Lower Dome. He went back somehow. I don't know if he was short or he went back. So I can't remember. But we got back to 6 billion, and when I got there, that house was empty. But they sent me upstairs first. Me and 2 other dudes, when I got there, it was a Puerto Rican dude running the house. So when I got there, I was like, yo, Dad, what's up with the, I got to get in the phone, But me, if you know me, I can say this about myself. I walk with a bebop. I had a hard walk.
Naturally.
My image was gangster. I'm a Chris, but my image was gangster.
Right.
Because I didn't say this before, but when I got to high school, my walk changed completely. I said, I'm going to walk harder than I'm going to high school now. So I was a hard walking dude. Like, cause when you were in high school, most of your fights was you walking hard, you looking at somebody,
right?
And they like, what? And you like, what? It's a fight.
That's it.
You throw your hands up, it's a fight right then and there. So I'm walking hard. I come in, I'm walking hard, I'm looking. So he's like, yeah, I could give you some time. Now there's a black dude already in there. So now he runs up with the Puerto Rican dude. Now the other dudes, so I'm telling him there was a whole mob downstairs about to come up. They're gonna ask about this phone. So now I got there before the dude that ran the $4 billion phone, loaded on, and got my time. See? So when they came up, I'm already got down. The dude gave me 8 to 9.
So you established already.
I'm established. So he asking, so he like, yo, they, there's only this left. I got this. He like saying he get on from 9 to 11. Now the black dude that been there, he don't like this. He looking like, yo, I've been here before those cats, and I asked you about the phone. You telling me, hold up, I got you. And then niggas going, yo, come to the back. So niggas like, you gotta go to the back. He went to the back. We got the kid, he ripped his ass. Next thing I know, Puerto Rican dude is under the bed, and this dude got his t-shirt wrapped around the pole to come across. He's choking him. He was gonna kill him. Niggas had to stop him. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Because he was fed up. He asked him, like, before we got there. And there's nobody in the house, 20 dudes, and you talking about ain't nothing there?
He was gonna kill him? You had to stop him?
He had to. Niggas stopped it. Like, yo, you won't catch the body, man. Puerto Rican dude woke up like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you. You know? He had to leave after that. You know what I'm saying? But the black dude was like, yo, whatever he negotiated, I'm not gonna argue with that. But what he had, I'm taking. With an hour to spare. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was that. The black dude was like, I've been here, so nobody was arguing with him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, oh, all right, They see what he can do anyway. You know what I'm saying? He showed improved, man. So what happened was, to tell you the story, I don't know if nobody else know the story, told the story, but they opened up city jails upstate, Cape Vincent and Riverview. You know about that in the Canada jails?
Yeah, and they was putting dudes on them planes. They was bugging.
Right, on the planes, taking them upstate, but we was doing city time. So I was on the second plane up there out the box. Because they were trying to get rid of all the dudes they felt was a problem. Send them up there. So now, I had a little jury, Fresh Valleys, to me at the box, on the second plane. So they taking us up there. So we thinking like, yeah, we going up there. So we get up there, they stripping us naked. You can't have jury. Right, we can't have nothing. So dudes like, what? We had to send stuff home. And Jaquan from Gates, that's my man. And I'm not talking about you, but I'm describing you. It's funny because his head had a curve in it, in the back. If you know what I'm saying, like a crooked head, something in the back. So the COs was getting on, they was ranking on the white, So from the door, he went crazy. He went right to the box. He was the first one up there in the box. That was my man coming from Rikers Island, 6th building. So we get up there. Hey, Vincent was in the plane. So that's
what he did though. He popped off on the police.
He popped off. He was like, "You redneck crackers," like, you know what I'm saying? He did a bid already, regular bid. He was in 6th building then. He wasn't having it for them. He was like, "What?" And they was like, they sent him to the box. And he was in the box, like the first one in the box, like for like months, like lonely, you know what I'm saying? Only dude in the box. The second dude I think went to the box was somebody that tried to sneak a knife out the mess hall, you know what I'm saying? But they sent me to E, but I remember when I went to E, there was only 3 of us. Like, the first people went to D, they filled up D, but my last name was Williams, so when they got to my last name, we was the first ones, me, Smitty. Smitty is my man from the Bronx, Uptown, you could say. He's Dollar Bill brother. Dollar, everybody know Dollar Bill. From Uptown, from the Bronx, whatever. He did time, he came home. He did the episode in court where he flipped on his lawyer and the judge and all that. Dollar Bill, he was locked up, So, as a little brother, it was me, him, and Shot. We was like, there first, like about 6 of us. Because our last names was like in the back, And we filled up, first. But I stayed there until they brought me back down, and that was the thing with that,
And how
And
them
I can tell
planes
you,
was? Them planes was they was official, or them shits was raggedy?
Nah, it was like a raggedy plane. It was like just seats. And then the rednecks, you know, they was all like 7 feet, 6'2". They was all screaming on the plane, yeah, we got you now, yeah. Got you black colored boys. They was talking how they want to talk, you know what I'm saying?
Niggas is crazy.
Even if it was one white dude there, they was going like, don't worry about it, you all right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we not going for that Rikers Island. Oh, the whole thing was, they wasn't going for that Rikers Island. Whatever Rikers Island was happening, it ain't happening here. Oh, you got a little jury, you got earrings in your ear, you got this and that. All right, we gonna fix all that when you get up there, you know?